Okay, we are back with another episode. So I think we stopped last time just before we were going to read our journal. So where is our journal? Dodecahedron. So I think with Finam's father's help, Finam's dead father's help, we were able to learn a language that one of our previous incarnations did learn, but we had forgotten that. But with his help, we were able to uh, remember that language again, and so we're going to attempt to read the dodecahedron. But before that, I have an idea. Let's go to the advocate's home, right? And let's try to confess about Deionarra, because uh, we've seen a sensory stone experience in the private sensorium where we could see what happened to Deionarra, or at least how one of our previous incarnations kind of exploited her in a kind of horrifying way. Uh, like we knew exactly what to say and how to kind of get her trust.
I'm gone.
So at least we have that context while going to confess to the advocate. So this is Diana's father, and he's kind of grieving her death. And last time we visited him, we had an option to kind of tell him that Nameless One was the one that she ran away with, and potentially the one who got her killed. But we didn't do it last time because we weren't too, like, we didn't have enough details at
Done.
that point, right? So I chose not to do it that time. But now, after having seen the memories in the private sensorium, maybe it makes sense to just talk to him and say that at least one of our previous incarnations had done this, uh, had kind of recruited her for his journey by being like a bit deceiving, I would say. Okay, let's talk to him. You see Iannis, he turns as you enter and fixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes, and he looks as if he has not been sleeping. Greetings, Iannis. You again. Iannis frowns slightly as he stares at you. What is it you want this time? I had some questions for you, nothing today, thanks. You again. Iannis frowns slightly as he stares at you. What is it you want this time? I had some questions for you. Very well. What is it I can help you with? Have you met before? Who are you again? What is this place? What is an advocate? Iannis, there is a sensory stone to sensorium that contains a fragment of your daughter's experience. Okay. So I don't remember if at the very top level of the questioning, if we had an option to confess to him. Maybe it's when we select the seventh option that we have, we get another option to confess to him that we might have been the one responsible for the death of his daughter. So let's go into this seventh option just to see if that second option is there. Deionarra, she was young. She had recently joined the Society of Sensation, the Sensates, not an unpleasant faction, but she had also met someone there. She followed him on a journey there, journey, and there she died. Her board, he looks pained. He was not even I was not even able to recover her body. I saw a woman by that name interred in the mortuary memorial hall. I saw a woman by that name interred in the mortuary memorial hall. She had become a ghost and claimed she knew me. You say she was a sensate. Do you know anything about the man she journeyed with? Okay, let's go through these options again just to refresh our memory, and then we'll back out and tell that we saw the sensory stone in the private sensorium. Okay. Do you know anything about this man she journeyed with? Little. I barely even knew of his existence until she had departed. By then, it was too late to have known him. I believe the man was me, but I have forgotten much. You say she was a sensate. Okay, so this is an option where we can kind of confirm that we are that person, or at least we were that person. I believe the man was me. See, I don't doesn't say I believe the man is that man was me. Okay, I don't know. Hmm. I see. Tell me about this fire. Okay, let's ask about this fire again. There is nothing much to say about the matter. It was a strange, localized fire. I cannot imagine what would have been precious in the documents that were burned. But someone must have wanted them destroyed. Any luck in locating the person responsible? Can you tell me what was burned? Okay, so we know that Dianara had left something with her father as a legacy, which is to be handed to us if we gave the correct password or like the correct location of the document. There's a series of letters and words that we should say, like to the advocate to retrieve that document. So maybe our previous incarnation came here and got that document, or maybe he tried to destroy it. Can you tell me what was burnt? A number of old legacies were burned, and some mementos and other keepsakes of value only to me. Legacies. So we know that she left a legacy. They are contracts that are deliverable at the death of the client. They provide specifics on how a person's possessions are to be divided upon the event of their demise. I have also heard them called wills. Are there anything like Desmond contracts? Actually, I've come to collect the legacy of a young woman. Okay, so we can choose to pursue this. We have to be very careful on like which order. Like maybe one of the other options will get locked out if we choose to pursue one of the options. They want to be careful about what to say here. Let's pursue this for now. Actually, I have come to collect the legacy of a young woman. Indeed. Very well. Do you remember the legacy in question? The young woman's legacy is 687 KS. So here's the thing, right? I don't know if, yeah, we probably only reach this point if he has confided us in the fact that Deionarra is his daughter, because I think it's under that questioning that this comes up, that something has been burned. I don't know. Maybe it's a separate line of questioning. Because here it says young woman's legacy. It doesn't say Deionarra's legacy. It doesn't say your daughter's legacy or anything. But you know that if you say these words out loud, if you say the reference number out loud, he's definitely going to recognize that it is Deionarra's legacy, right? And that may lead to an kind of uncomfortable line of questioning from which we maybe cannot back out. So let's back out and let's ask. Let me actually make a save again. It's so stressed about ruining this conversation with the advocate. Okay, instead of doing this, we'll ask about his daughter first. And let's say this. Okay, I saw a woman by the name interred in a mortuary memorial hall. Let's say that. Yes, I arranged for a bear to be placed in the memorial hall. There is no body there, of course, but I hope the bear would serve as a marker by which she may find her way home. I don't know what a bear means. I think even when we were in the mortuary, we probably heard that term in one of the first 1 or 2 episodes, but again I forgot the word. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Bear. A coffin along with its stand. A stand to support a corpse or a coffin prior to burial. Okay, it's like a coffin stand. It worked. Her spirit resides there now. You say she was sensate. Do you know where Deionarra and this man went on their journey? Let's ask this. She never said. I'm not certain she was capable of saying where they had gone. It must have been a terrible place. How did she die? I do not know. Her body was never recovered. Iannis Fern turns blood red and his hands clench in a fist. And that is perhaps the most maddening part of this misery. I'll never know what possessed her to run off like that, what happened to her, nor where the body lies now. Okay. Forgive me for asking, but do you know how how do you know she's dead if you never saw the body? So we already remember we remember what he said, what he answers to this. He said that he could see her name in the dead book, right? There is that huge hall that Desmond keep outside. Not huge, it's like a small little open hall that Desmond keep outside their mortuary. It is most curious. I went to the Desmond to see if they had found a body, and they directed me to one of their faction outside the Desmond monument. A Desmond named Death of Names, I believe. He said to be an oracle of sorts concerning those who have died. He told me my daughter had died. Okay. Tell me about the fire. Any luck in locating the person responsible? No, neither the Harmonium nor the Mercy Killers have had any fortune in locating the person responsible. Okay, this must be a very recent event, though, right? He's still grieving. He still has sacks under his eye, so she must not have passed long. Like it must have been a recent event that Deionarra passed. So maybe it was the incarnation right before, like just the previous. Like I presume that the incarnation just prior to the one we are having right now is the one who was familiar with Deionarra and the one who exploited her. So it must have been that nameless one who came here to maybe destroy the documents in some capacity. Uh, okay. So if we pursue this, we can ask her will, but let's back out of that for now. That is unfortunate. Perhaps there is something else you can help me with. Okay. Who are you? What's this place? What's an undergate? Okay. Tell me about your daughter. Okay, so now we can say the it worked. Her spirit resides there. Her spirit resides there now. Okay. But what? Iannis looks flustered. What did you just say? Her spirit now resides in the memorial hall. I spoke with her for a time, and she seems to be in distress. Okay, let's say the second one. You spoke to her? Iannis seems to become more confused by the moment. What distresses her? I'm not certain. I wasn't able to make out what she was saying. Me, apparently. She said that she loved me and that I had loved her and that I had forsaken her. So I kind of want to do this, okay? I know that it might just block out this person. Maybe he'll just kick us out of his home. I don't know. Let's see. I see. Perhaps Yanis frowns and studies you. His face has become like stone. And you're the one she left sigil with, the one who led her on the journey that killed her. I'm not certain. I think I may be that man, but I have forgotten much. I don't think so. She seemed hysterical. I knew little of her surroundings. You might want to go seek her out. Ugh. You don't have a third option. Okay, let's choose the first one, the honest one. Yanis looks you up and down. You are the one. You are the one. And you say you have forgotten. Yanis rose himself up and he looks like he is squaring himself for a battle. You have forgotten, but the incident was not so long ago. How can this be? I have a strange condition. I lose myself for a time. Anything you can tell me about myself for your daughter will be invaluable. I misspoke. I doubt that I am the man. I am that man. I am certain I would have remembered your daughter if I traveled with her. Okay. So we are kind of logged into an honest conversation with him at this point. So we are going to choose the first option. Countless liars have I known in my tenure in the city. Yannis studies you intently. You do not strike me as one of them, at least on this matter. He sighs. Okay, at least he recognizes that we are not completely bullshitting him. If you truly do not remember, then what befell you and my daughter on your journey? If you truly do not remember, then whatever befell you and my daughter on your journey must have left deep scars. I'm inclined to agree. Okay. Do you think the nameless one from previous incarnation really felt some remorse after Deionarra's death? These deep scars? Then I would ask you a word on this. If your memory returns and you discover what has happened to my daughter, return to me so that my mind may at last be at rest on this matter. Uh, if I found out what happened to her, I will return if I can. Wow, 1 and 3 are interesting. 3 is like, I don't know, it's a more tired response. At least that's how I read it. I want to say this, I will do that. But this seems like a more sympathetic kind of response, also, in the same way. Like we are kind of sharing his sadness. Very well then. Now leave. I wish to be alone with my thoughts. Farewell then. So do you think he will talk to us again? You see, Yanis, he turns as you enter and affixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes, and he looks as if he has not been sleeping. Okay. Greetings, Yanis. You again. Yanis frowns slightly. What is it you want this time? Okay, he's still willing to speak with us. So let's talk about this fourth option. Okay, I think this might be maybe the conclusion of his quest. Maybe down the line, like obviously down the line, we'll probably understand in more detail what happened to Diana and how she died. But I don't know if that will be the final like piece of knowledge that we can come back to convey to him. Maybe it's just his fourth option, right? We know how things will lead from here because she's probably going to die after leaving with him. But yeah, the previous incarnation kind of uh what is it, lied and like coaxed her in a way. Hmm. Okay, let's say this. His eyes blaze with hope. There is, but in which one? You must tell me. It's one of the sensate sensory stones. If you're not a sensate, you could not gain access. He thinks for a moment. I must find a way. Perhaps that would make an exception. They would make an exception for for her father. If you wanted, I could speak to someone. I'm certain they would make an exception in your case. I do not wish to break the sensate's laws. Nevertheless, I could speak to someone and see if something else might be done. I could help you for a price. My word may carry some weight at the festival. They might. Now, in the sensory stone, she left a legacy number for me. That's a matter between you and them. You see, this is an interesting option too. Fourth option. This is a matter. That's a matter between you and them. Tell me more about Deionarra. Okay, let's ask the fourth question. Iannis notes. It seems you spoke true. My daughter was known to you then. His eyes. Hold a moment, and I'll see what was left to you. I'll wait.
Updated my journal.
Okay. So we got some experience in a bunch of items, and we didn't even have to say the password. I wonder what would have happened if we said the password. Would you have been surprised? Maybe it would have led back into this line of questioning when he realized that, we know that number, we know that specific number. Then he would have realized that we were the one whom, she was in contact with. All the articles are accounted for. Yanis is holding 3 scrolls in his hands. I had no idea she had established a legacy. She had established a legacy here. He's staring at the items, almost hypnotized. Here you are. If I may I read them, sir? It's probably a bad idea. It's a private matter. As an advocate, you must understand this. Let me read them first, then I shall decide. Of course, Iannis seems broken, but please, I beg you, I have very little left to remember my daughter by. Lie. I'll see that you get a chance to read them. In the meantime, perhaps there is something else you can help me with. Wow, I shall not forget. I'll return after I've read them. Okay, so let's read her legacy.
Done.
Oh, wow. We can't carry items. So the stuff is just dropped in the ground. Let's let's transfer some items to Mr. Ignis. He has nothing in his inventory. Tongs, iron ore, this, forge hammer. Okay. Crystal room key. I don't think we're gonna need that. Uh, Deionarra's legacy, healing scroll. How many items did we gain? This is 1, 2, 3. You think this was an item? Maybe this was an item. Let us see. Okay, we can't see here. Maybe in the dialogue tree we can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We gained 4 items. I wish they named the items so that we are not too confused. It's another ones that were handed to Ignis. So it should be one of, yeah, it should be Deionarra's ring, first of all. Deionarra's wedding ring, special. Oh, her wedding ring. Do you think she married us? +1 to all saving throws, +1 to armor class, +3 to armor class versus piercing. Wow, this is amazing ring. The ivory ring was part of Deionarra's legacy. It radiates a slight glow, and though it's cold to the touch, the chill is strangely comforting. The ivory band stretches to fit the width of any finger. Among the many secrets of society of sensation is the ability to shape peculiar stones from Elysium, dubbed Soul Stone. While this stone is not as powerful as the sensory stone, the Soul Stone is said to carry an imprint of the shaper's feelings. These rings are often used in sensate marriage ceremonies. Each ring inscribed with the feelings of the other. The ring was obviously intended for you. When wearing Deionarra's ring, you gain additional protection from all attacks and additional protection from any piercing attacks, presumably. The ring's purpose is to shield the heart from shock and trauma. This extends to any physical pain the wearer suffers as well. Hmm. Okay. Then we can take off we can take off the ring of the armorer and put on our wedding ring. Or the wedding ring that is intended to us. And I assume maybe the silver earring was the 4th item. Not too sure. Oh wait, we have an item lying down here, so it should be this item. Sorry. Junk and hard jam. So it just pushed out some of the junk items, I guess. So I assume these are things we had. Maybe hard jam was one of the items. I don't know. Let's read the legacy. There's a healing scroll. Heals 33 hit points. This tissue-thin vellum scroll was part of Deionarra's legacy. The scroll is neatly rolled up and wrapped with a red ribbon. Uh, when the ribbon is opened, the healing magic contained within the scroll is released. The scroll will heal even the most critical of wounds. It disintegrates into powder when used. This is very painful, like looking at these things. She has been so thoughtful, and like she's done such a thoughtful job in uh, like leaving these things behind, right? There is a wedding ring that protects us. There is a healing scroll. It's almost painful. Honestly, it's painful looking at these things. Deionarra says, "My love, if you're reading this, then the tragedy I've seen. She had some. Did she have some oracle-like skills? I know that someone somewhere. I think someone somewhere in this game so far, or in this story so far, had some sort of oracle skills. Just like passively mentioned that had some oracle skills. I think Deionarra had that, right? And Deionarra kind of predicted that we'll face like three evil people in our journey. That was maybe one of her oracle skills. We'll have to check our journal to see. Yeah, but this scene with the capital S might have been a future that she uh, foresaw coming. Then the tragedy I have seen has come to pass. I have died, and you have remained to suffer the loss. Know this, my love. I know why you were forced to shield your feelings from me. No, I know why you were forced to shield your feelings. She's completely fooled, right? I mean, I told you earlier, it's difficult to unfool someone like that. I know why you were forced to shield your feelings from me. You sought to protect me from the terrible burden you carry with you. My God. The distance you have kept between us was your way of protecting me, and the brief moments when we were alone and you let your feelings be known, that was when I knew you cared for me. Carry no regrets with you, carry no guilt, for I came with you on your own haunted journey of my own accord. And no matter how death came for me, I know that you did everything in your power to save me. Like, even in the last breath, people would be trying to alleviate their partner of any guilt, and that's that's his entire letter. Is she convincing herself that nameless one is the is such a wonderful person, and that he doesn't even have to carry any guilt. I mean, he is probably not, but still, our lives are intertwined, my love, and that shall not be a wall between us. For my sight has seen what is to come, only in a only in staccato segments. Let me look up what staccato means. Uh, Staccato. Marked by a composed of disconnected parts or sounds, cut short crisply. Hmm. Yeah, it's disconnected parts. For my sight has seen what is to come, only in staccato segments, but it is enough for me to know that we will be separated for. It's enough for me to know that we'll be separated for a time, but we shall be reconciled again. Thus, do not see my death as a farewell, but only as an interval before we meet again. Do you think this sight is going to be true? That at some point we'll reunite with Deionarra again. Carry my ring with you and these other pieces of me, and think of me. Keep me in your mind and heart. That'll be the beacon that brings us together for our Deionarra. This is a good letter. Healing scroll. Obviously, we can use it at some point. Maybe. Oh, there's two of them. We'll give it to Miss. What's her name? Anna, because I think she's the one who should be carrying all the usable items because she doesn't have any spells that can be used in combat, right? So we'll leave all of these things with her, which is also kind of now that I think about it, we are handing it over to one of our potential romantic partners right after we got it from our legacy. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. So we read her legacy. This is this is not going to do anything for the father. Honestly, the father should not be holding on to this. This is meant for us. There isn't a single mention of his mention of him or anything related to him in that legacy. So I don't know if he will find any uh I don't know what's the word, any peace or like closure in reading such a statement, such a will in which he was not even mentioned. It's probably a picture of her that he has never known until like the very last moments when he realizes she's running away with someone whom she loved. Okay, let's talk to him again though, and tell him that we have read. Uh, Here's Deionarra's legacy as I promised. Iannis takes the scroll and studies it. There is a long silence, and he slowly looks up at you. You meant very much to my daughter. She was willing to give up her life for you. I believe that is the case. Iannis hands the scroll back to you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your kindness. It's the least I can do. Perhaps there is something else. I wish there was some mention of him so that he could hold on to that scroll. God damn, it's a painful situation. It is the least I can do. Perhaps there is something else you can help me with. I mourn the loss of your daughter. I hope her words gave you some comfort. Farewell. How would they give? Okay, maybe in some sense it gave him some comfort. Is there any other line of questioning we can pursue with him? We can kind of extort him for money by saying that we can uh, get him a pass into the sensorium. Uh, if you wanted, I could speak to someone. I'm certain they would make an exception in your case. Yanis looks relieved. If you could, I would be most grateful. Oh my god, that's such a horrifying memory to watch. Why are we even doing this? Though what was it? What is she like? I will try before I go. or something else you can help me with? Giannis looks relieved. If you could, I would be most grateful. Okay, I will see what can be done. I would know more about Deionarra, though. I would, I would know more about Deionarra, though. What was she like? I'll try before I go. Perhaps it's okay. Let's ask this question. Let's see if he gives any more information about Deionarra. Deionarra, she was young. She had recently joined the Society of Sensation, the Sensates. Not an unpleasant faction, but she had also met someone there. She followed him on a journey, and there she died. Her board. I was not even able to recover her body. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this didn't go as horribly as I had expected. Legacies. Okay. Earlier we had another option here where we could specify the correct number, but now it's gone because we already got the legacy. Okay, all right. I hope that was the end of his quest. Oh, I guess we can still go and talk to someone in the sensorium, in the civic quest hall about giving him access. So I guess that's something we can do. Obtain permission for Iannis to use DNR's sensory stone. Yeah, I told Iannis I could make inquiries at the festival and see if I could get him to see his daughter's sensory stone. I don't know what I'll be able to do, but I'll try. Okay. If he sees that, there's nothing good that's going to happen to us, right? It's a horrible memory that's in there. Find and return Vivian's personal scent. I've agreed to well Vivian, one of the prostitutes in the brothel of slating intellectual lust. Find her personal scent. She said I would know when I smelled it. Okay, find the portal key to Ravel's maze. The maze named Quell told me the key to the portal which would lead to Ravel's maze was oddly enough a piece of Ravel. When I spoke to Ian, Lingus, Finn, and Line, I recalled that I had actually murdered the man. I can only presume that it was in order to prevent him from teaching the tongue of the Uyo to anyone else, thereby keeping what I had written in the dodecahedral puzzle box a secret. I collected Deionarra's legacy from her father. I let Iannis read Deionarra's legacy. Uh, Her last words seemed to give him some comfort. I told Iannis I could make inquiries at the festival and see if I could get him to see his daughter's sensory stone. I don't know what I'll be able to do, but I'll try. Yeah, sorry. Let's go back to maybe let's stay here and read our journal. Let's bring everyone here. And this is a fine place. We can't really arrange people around the table. All right, let's
All right.
ask Nameless one to come here, and maybe we'll secretly read our journal. Okay. This heavy dodecahedron, about size of both your fists balled together, seems inexplicably familiar to you. Its texture is cold and smooth, but whether it's metal or stone, you cannot tell. A certain, almost intangible tension runs over the object, as if it were ready to spring into the air at any moment. Use. You have left the. You have. You heft the. You heft the cold gray dodecahedron up to examine it carefully. Now aware of the various deadly traps it holds for the incautious user and how to avoid them entirely. Having learned the dead language of the you will at last be able to decipher its contents. Unfold the dodecahedron and read it.
Updated my journal.
The the tablet turns out to be a journal of sorts, and one kept by some prior incarnation of yourself. It would seem, and not an altogether sane one either. Incarnation of yourself, it would seem, and not an altogether sane one either. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. There are only a handful of completely coherent sections. Sections. Browse through it. What do you wish to read about? Whispering shadows, about a female ghost, about hiding something within your own body, some paranoid ranting, about the accursed tattoos, about the dreams and ravel, about the danger of names, about the killing in the festival. Read about the murder of one who tried to help you. Read a cryptic answer from an unknown source. Show more. Read something about a legacy. So many details here. My God. Hmm. Uh, okay, read about the whispering shadows. The whispers are not the shadows. Okay, it's going to be difficult if he's this person is not too sane in his head. The whispers are not the shadows, not the shadows moving. They are speaking, floating, talking to each other. I can understand some of what they say. Read something else. Read about a female ghost. The book tells me things, whispers things. The book tells me things, whispers things. Tells me to avoid the ghost girl. Avoid her. I don't know her, and she torments me. Read about hiding something within your own body. And I swallowed it, hoping it would catch in my bowels. I can make someone remove it when I need to. Okay. I think we already retrieved something from our stomach back in Buried Village, talking to that woman. What was her name? It was not Mebeth. I forgot her name. I think it started with an M, but yeah, the seamstress Martha. I think it was a Martha was her name. I think Martha the seamstress. She removed something from her stomach back then. Forgot what it was. Read some paranoid ranting. I've learned that my life is not my own. I will not allow you to have my life. You will have to pull my life from my broken body if you want it. It's you who will die. I cannot have it. If I cannot have it, neither will you. We know that someone wrote the something that sounds similar in our other journal, quote unquote journal, which is a tomb. You are responsible for this treason of flesh. You will not live to live my life. Read something else. Read about the accursed tattoos. The accursed tattoos will not leave my skin. I have tried to burn them off my skin. Failed, failed. I try and cloak myself, but I always feel that people are reading my flesh, reading me like a book. Wherever they look at me, I want to tear their eyes out, pluck them from their own sockets, and crush them beneath my heel. Okay. About dreams and ravel. Why can't I dream? I used a goblet of semi to force a waking dream. I saw a hag. I used a goblet of Semir to force a waking dream. I saw a hag. She tempted me, threatened me with shadows. I've never seen her, but she came when I dreamt. I must not dream again. I must always be aware. I destroyed the goblet. She says she is someone of power and that she will have me, will find me. Get away, hag. Stay far away from me. Leave me in peace. I want nothing to do with you. Apparently, we were visited by this hag when we tried to dream. We apparently lost the ability to dream. We know that we have enlisted someone, not enlisted. What's the word? We have contracted someone to build a dream builder. He's doing it currently in the foundry. So at that point, we are losing the ability to dream, and we use something called a goblet of Semir to force a waking dream. A waking dream. What's a waking dream, though? Not sure. Let me look that up. Waking dream. An involuntary dream occurring while a person is awake. Okay. I used the goblet of semi to force a waking dream. I saw a hag. She tempted me, threatened me with shadows. So this hag visited him in a dream and said that she'll have me and find me. Okay. We were already pretty deep in some mess by the time this happened, I would presume. Continue reading this portion of the journal. Okay. Her voice reeked of evil talents, talents like spiders. They burrowed into my gray matter. Grey matter is brain, right? And I needed her out of my mind. Out, out, hag. She was a myth, a fairy tale, who alone challenged the Lady of Pain. How can one fight someone who is a myth? I don't have the weapons. I need weapons that'll kill her should she find me. I need weapons that'll kill her should she find me. I need a strategy so she can defeat me when she comes for me. I must devise and think. I shall beat her. Okay. So she contacted us first when she was already mazed by the lady because it's a fairy tale of she was already a myth and a fairy tale uh, as someone who challenged the Lady of Pain. So at that point she was already mazed, right? So I'm wondering how that plays out. Read something else. Hmm. Dreams and Ravel. Read about the danger of names. Fear names. Names have the power in Names have power and identity. Names can be used as weapons by others. They are a hook that can be used to track you, find you, hunt you across the plains. Remain nameless, and you shall be safe. Hmm. Read something else. Read about the killing in Festal. I went to the Festal looking for the path of my false self in its halls. So glaring was it that those I did not know, the false ones welcome. That those So glaring was it that those I did not know, the false ones, welcomed me into their confidence, treated me as a friend, showed me my room, attended to my needs. I had to restrain myself from launching out against them. That would have been premature. First, I needed to protect my identity. I found one who knew the exclusive language of Puyo, learned it as I could, then killed him. Then I went to the sensorium and prepared to end the matter. Soon, soon. Okay. Read about the murder of one who tried to help you. There is nothing he can do. Memories are gone, he says, never to return. He says lies and tells me this is what he told me. Lies. Okay. We already read about this person in the tomb, right? There is nothing he can do. Memories are gone, he says, never to return. He says lies and tells me that this is what he told. He says lies and tells me this is what he told me. What even I don't even know what to make of that sentence. Lies. He says my mind is weakening from every death. Lies. He sat there betraying my confidence with every turn. He says that only after three more deaths, three more lives, will I gain the benefits of keeping my memories. But that myself, I will die when I die. Die. How can I be immortal and still die? He could not answer, so he was no use. I butchered him so that no other incarnation will ever benefit from his uselessness. Okay. So we have read this same sentence in our previous journal. Read a cryptic answer from an unknown source. So ghastly so the ghastly head said, you may have been divided, you are one of many. One in many men. You have been divided. You are one of many men. One in many men. You bear many names. Each has left their scars on your flesh. Continue reading this portion. This is just, I feel like the game has just been teasing us for so long. And with every cryptic answer, like, my patience is waning. Can you just give me a straightforward answer for once? Lost one, immortal one, incarnation sent, man of thousand names. The one doomed to life, restless one, one of many, the one whom life holds prisoner, the bringer of shadows, the wounded one, mystery bringer, Yemeth. I think the exact same names were written in our other journal too. Continue reading this portion of the journal. You are silvered glass that is cracked and the pieces shattered across history. Only one piece is of import. Regain that, and your life will be yours again. There will be a price. This price will buy you a chance. Without the chance, you are doomed. Hmm. Hmm. So you have to collect all of these incarnations across the history and bind them together to become a whole. Is that what it's imply? Continue reading this portion of the journal. You have lost that which is never meant to be separated from man. Your mortality has been stripped from you. Lost. It exists, but you must find it before your mind is lost to you as well. Okay. Hmm. Your mortality has been stripped from you, lost. So that portion of ourself is also like like all the pieces of ourself is strewn across history, right? Across time maybe, but the one that contains our soul is the one that we should find before we completely lose our mind. Read something else. Read something about a legacy. A legacy, the note said. Forgot not to collect your legacy, and a small code scratched beside it. 51AA dot 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 dot. A trap, no doubt, set by yet another one of my false selves. I'll see it destroyed, I will. A legacy. Forgot not to collect your legacy, and a small code scratched beneath it. We have already collected legacy from Deionarra. What would this be? We know that there is a place in the lower ward where we can deposit things, right? I forgot the name. It is like the bank of like I, I forgot. There's some reference to 9 planes or 7 planes, like a huge bank or something, a vault of the 7 planes or something. Forgot its name. Maybe we can go there and try to see if this code makes sense there. Okay, more cryptic answers. I don't think game is still. It's just teasing us still, and not able to piece together. Don't have enough energy at the moment to try to piece together with things with the what little clues we have. So we'll leave it for now and just explore the rest of the uh, quests and options we have. So one thing we can do is we can return to Merriman. Uh, what else can we do? We can uh, let's look at the journal. Yeah, we can talk to Monday. We can return back to Merriman, uh, which will ultimately help us in talking to Echo, right? Discover weakness, sell a companion, complete the dream builder, join the godsman, forge an item. Okay, let's return back to lower plane, right? And try to maybe visit the siege tower, and then make our way to Foundry. This should be a drawbridge. Okay, this is a drawbridge. It is in lowered position. This drawbridge would give attackers access from the siege tower to the walls of a city or keep. So this is also a drawbridge. It's nothing here. Importance. The crates are beginning to show signs of age. Soon they will crumble into a pile of refuse. Okay. These barrels are probably here to catch rainwater. The only thing that fills them is dust. So it has not been raining. This appears to be a siege tower. The walls are scarred and pitted. It has seen many a battle in its lifetime. Okay. So let's search a journal for siege tower. Siege. I don't know the spelling of siege. Okay. The boy Laszlo says that he knows a portal near the siege tower. It is located on the drawbridge or a device resembling one. He wasn't too clear in his description. I wonder where the portal leads. There's a sealed siege tower here in the lower ward. Lower ward that so I'm told a lot of people would like to gain entry to. Nobody has been able to gain access, no matter how hard they've tried. It may be a strange idea on my part, but maybe the secret to getting in is to not want to get in. The boy Laszlo says there is a portal located on a drawbridge-like device east of the market. He thinks the portal may lead into a siege tower. Maybe I should check this out. There are two entries. I wonder why. Oh, it's slightly different. The boy Laszlo says there's a portal located on the drawbridge-like device east of the market. He thinks the portal may lead into the siege tower. Maybe I should check this out. Okay, so this is a drawbridge-like device. Where this drawbridge is obviously not accessible. Can you stop doing that nameless one? God damn it! The bloody pathing in this game. All right, come. That's Lenny. You can't determine what this odd device is. What am I supposed to do now? This is the east side of the market, right? Am I supposed to... Oh. The walls are scarred and pitted, it has seen. Okay. Alright. Okay, can somebody open a portal now, please? I'll stand right underneath the siege tower. Okay, let's go here. You approach the location of the portal that the boy Laszlo spoke of. You begin to replay your conversation with him in your head. Maybe the secret to getting in is not want to get in. You hear yourself say, suppress any desire to enter the tower. I'm just looking around. I don't even care if I enter. There it is. Alright. Wow. Some sort of mechano. I don't know. It's a robot? It's something forging something. Okay. It's a hammer. It's striking something. Cox metal. I guess that's what it does. He hit. It's quick save. Let's assemble our party. Alright, talk to him. Any pixel handle until I can. Is there any place I can click here, please? Oh god. Can't I talk to this inside the siege tower?
What's up? Okay.
Oh god. I'm not able to interact with the person. What the hell? I can see somewhere here the icon is slightly changing. Oh, see? Oh god. Game. Why do you have to do this to me? Alright, go. You see an iron creature. Its size is staggering. If it stood full height, it would shatter the roof of the siege tower. Thundering echoes rattle the walkway as a creature hammers away on its forge, and the smell of soot and ash fills the air. Greetings. I should have read the last sentence. It said, "Leave the iron golem alone" or something. There's a screaming of metal on metal as the giant turns to face you. You suddenly realize the golem is built into the siege tower itself. Girders, pipes, and huge bracers run through its lower torso and into the walls. And the bottom portion of the body makes up the forge itself. What are you? What are you? Never mind, I'm definitely in the wrong place. Sorry to disturb you. What are you? I am iron given purpose. I see. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. I see. What purpose? I force the implements by which the multiverse will be unmade. Multiverse will be unmade. Okay. You mean forging weapons? That's your purpose? I like to carry on with your words, work then, Purple. You mean forging weapons? That's your purpose? Metal is like flesh. Both carry potential in their veins. When tempered with heat and pressure, the potential surfaces. My purpose is to bring forth this potential, allow it expression. Who do you make these weapons for? Why do you do this? Can you do anything with my weapons? Okay. Who do you make these weapons for? I forge them for the sake of entropy. They are in pain, seeking for expression. For the sake of entropy. Name dropping entropy here. What does entropy need weapons for? Beyond this tower, order rallies its legions. The multiverse heals its wounds. In time, its strength may equal entropy. Interesting. The multiverse is your enemy? Why? Entropy is just chaos in this case. Okay. The multiverse is your enemy. Why? The multiverse breathes. It grows. It stagnates. It forges its chains around the planes, link by link. It forges its chains around the planes, link by link. In time, even entropy may be chained. Are you opposed to chaining entropy? When a thing steels itself against its own destruction, when a thing seals itself against its own destruction, it merely dies a different death. So you're saying immortality is just a different kind of death. What makes that death any worse than another? Yeah. Why have a preference for like a chaotic death as opposed to a lawful death? I guess. Truth. Except the death you seem to offer is violent and senseless, without meaning. True enough. So what makes you take up entropy's course? So you're saying immortality is just a different kind of death? Immortality is only a word. all that exists can die. You're saying you could forge a weapon to kill an immortal. Every living thing has a weapon against which it has no defense. Time, disease, iron, guilt. How do you know what weapon to use? One must know the enemy to forge such a weapon. And how do I do that? Start with a fragment of the enemy, a drop of blood, a crystallized thought, one of its hopes. All of these things tell the way it can die. What if the enemy strikes from a distance, from shadows, and never knows himself? What if the enemy strikes? Very specific question. What if the enemy strikes and we have an option to ask whether if he can craft a weapon that can kill us? What if the enemy strikes from a distance, from shadows, and never shows himself? Then that is a fragment of the enemy you must use. How? The action of your enemy have told you much. Your enemy does not wish to engage you directly. That's a weakness. Or for some reason it cannot engage me directly. What is his line of questioning though? What is Nameless One getting at? That's an equal possibility. Either possibility reveals weakness. How do I exploit that? The action of your enemy have told you it does not wish to engage you directly. That's a weakness. How do I exploit that? If the enemy does not wish to confront you directly, deny its wish. Take the battle to the enemy. And if the reason it cannot attack me directly is because it has no choice.
Updated my journal.
What is happening? If it's not allowed to confront you directly, find the reason. The reason will reveal a weakness. I feel like this line of questioning is probably meant for a later time when we have such an enemy whom we cannot face. But it seems like we are pursuing that very specific line of questioning rather aggressively at this point. You said immortality was just a word, that all lives can die. Could you make a weapon that could kill me? Yes. Really? How? I would need a drop of your blood, that is all. Very well. 10,000 experience. The tool of your destruction has been forged and educated. Is it not enough? What do you mean? The magics that keep your heart beating and mend your flesh are strong. You must sink the blade into your body only within a shell where you are cut off from the plains. You must sink the blade into your body only within a shell where you are cut off from the plains. Why? The reason is not known to me, yet both the weapon and the place are necessary for your destruction. Where would I find such a shell that separated me from the plains? That is not known to me. Very enigmatic and infinitely wise being, and it knows its limits very specifically, which is also a sign of extreme wisdom, I would say. I had another question. The reason is not known to me, yet both the weapon and the place are necessary for your destruction. Okay, and the magics that keep your heart beating and mend your flesh are strong. So we have to be away from the plains in a shell where the magics cannot rejuvenate us anymore. Plus that specific weapon which will which we can plunge into our heart, whatever. So these two conditions once met, we can finally get rid of our immortality. It feels like we have stumbled into a kind of a hidden ending, kind of like something that can help us in a different ending for the game. But I don't know if this game has many endings, so we'll see. I had other questions. I'll have to find such a place on my own then. Farewell. I had another question. Ask. What are you? What is the place? What are you doing? Why do you make weapons? Can you tell me more of what you do with the weapons? What do you know of Blood War? Have you heard of a night hag named Ravel? I need a heavy decorated wrought iron bird cage. Do you have one? Perhaps another day. Farewell. Amazing questions. Let's dig into this. Alright. Who are you? I am iron given purpose. What's your purpose again? I force the implements by which the multiverse will be unmade. Okay, I think we should ask some other questions about why he chose this route. Why do you do this? Why do you do this? The iron of my body once existed only as minor expressions of pain, blades, spears, axes, arrowheads, rivets in catapults. From these implements of war I was wrought. What happened? These minor expressions of pain were melted to forge this body. My potential was allowed to surface. Now my purpose is to bring out the potential in other metals. You said that someone melted those weapons and forged your body. Who? Entropy raised me from the planar battlefields. And you said your purpose is now to forge weapons? What do you mean entropy though? You're just dropping it like... Uh, metal is like flesh. Both carry potential. Okay, we have seen that. Who do you make these weapons for? I forge them for the sake of entropy. They aren't pain. They are pain-seeking expression. They are pain-seeking expression. What does entropy need weapons for? Beyond this tower, order rallies its regions. What makes that death any worse than another? All things have a common ground in decay. War is necessary. Death is necessary. Decay is necessary. All things have a common ground in decay. Agreed. Without these things, there is stagnation. These things are never necessary. To promote them and glorify the destruction they cause is wrong. These things may be necessary within limits. How much of this is too much? There are no limits. Limits are one of the links in the chain of order. Limits must be shattered. Even if death is the result, all must fall upon entropy's blade. The time nears when it will be necessary to breach the walls of creation. Order will be put to the sword. Its chains will be broken. The multiverse will be unmade. Sounds like it'll be a hell of a battle. Perhaps I'll see you there. Farewell. Okay. I see I had some other questions. What is this place? This tower is a siege engine. It exists to breach the walls between planes. Breach planes? How? The tower anchors itself upon a plane. A wound is torn in the multiverse when the bridge of the tower opens. Legions may pass from one plane to the other through the tower. When the plane has served entropy's purpose, the tower anchors itself again. What happened to the legions that have used the tower? Entropy has unmade them. And what happened to the planes the siege tower invaded? Entropy has unmade them. But we still have all the 9 planes, right? So is this the first time it's visiting some place? There are so many questions. If the siege tower can travel the planes, why do you remain here? The tower is trapped in the city. The city is a cage that you cannot breach. Nice! So it finally ended up here and it just could not get out. How did the siege tower get in the city in the first place? At one time, the tower laid siege to the plains. How I was brought here is not known to me. How I may escape is not known to me. You said the tower can breach plains. Okay. At some point, it was laying siege to the plains, but it got teleported here, I guess. You said the tower can breach plains. How? Let's see, I had some other questions. Who are you? What was your purpose again? Except the death you seem to offer is violent and senseless, without meaning. All things have a common ground in decay. War is necessary, death is necessary, decay is necessary. If we talk about limits, he's just going to say limit is another link in the chain of order. These things are never necessary. To promote them and glorify them, the destruction they cause is wrong. There are no limits. Limits are of one of the links in the chain of order. Limits must be shattered, even if death is the result. All must fail upon entropy's blade. Okay. Why do you make weapons? Yeah, we already... Can you tell me more of what you do with the weapons? Metal is like flesh. Both carry potential. Okay, we already asked that. Do you know of the Blood War? It is a war by which the planes will be unmade. How long has it gone on? The lifetime of many metals. Did you ever serve in it? Yes, it was on this forge that the screaming projectiles that tore the smoking skies of Avernus were made. Yes, it was on this forge that the screaming projectiles that tore the smoking skies of Avernus were made. Weapons so sharp that the wind itself knew agony. Oh, I had another question. Uh, have you heard of a night hag named Ravel? The night hag sought to sunder the city. Her greatest work were those of unmaking. She walked the path of entropy. Hmm. Do you know what happened to her?
Updated my journal.
Orders had changed about her. She was cast within a cage. Do you know where this cage is? Her prison is unknown to me. God damn it. Alright. Not in, okay, I think it's the same set of questions. I need a heavy decorated rota and bird cage. Do you have one? I have such an item. The dream builder came to me an age ago. He promised me that my durance in the prison of the city would be near an end when the cage left my possession. Oh no. I see. Can I have it? Yes, take this cage and lay waste to those who create such confines. Before I go, I had other questions. Have we exhausted all the options? I don't want to pursue this first line of questioning again. There are multiple options we can choose from. Once we goes on his ramble about like destroying everything. True enough. So, what made you take up entropy's course? All things have a common ground. It's the same answer. These things may be necessary within limits. Yeah. Same answer. Have you heard of an night hag? Yeah, I think we covered all the questions. Perhaps another day. Farewell. Where is his hand? I can't make out where his hand went. He had a hand here, right? Did you stop working on your iron? Your metal? Fox metal. Alright, let's get out of here. I think we'll... Oh, there's a portal. We went in through there, but we came out here. That's fine. This is the exit portal. So, I think we'll head to Foundry, but we'll stop the episode here after like checking our journal. But we'll do it inside the Foundry. So that next day we know where to pick up from. Alright, we are in Foundry. Let's quickly check our journal. Right. I've at last managed to unlock the last of the dodecahedron puzzle box secret. It turns out it's a journal penned by one of my lesser than sane earlier incarnations. I found a way into the siege tower in the lower ward. Within the tower is an iron golem, almost size of the tower itself. It seems to be forging weapons using a furnace within the tower. The golem within the siege tower claims that the multiverse itself is his enemy, and that is why he labors on the forge. He seeks to make weapons by which multiverse may be unmade. The golem gave me an advice on an enemy that strikes from shadows. He said that the fact the enemy does not engage me directly is a weakness that I should exploit. The golem gave me advice on an enemy that strikes from the shadows. He said that the fact that enemy does not engage me directly is a weakness I should exploit. He suggested that I do not fight the enemy on its own terms, but instead take the battle to the enemy. I don't know how we are going to use this bit of information. The golem gave me an advice on an enemy that... wait. Sorry. Oh, wait. It starts off the same, but it's a different paragraph. He said that the fact that the enemy does not engage me directly or cannot engage me directly is a weakness that I should exploit. He suggested that I do not fight the enemy on its own terms, but instead take the battle to the enemy. If there is some reason my enemy cannot fight me directly, he said I should find the reason and exploit it. The Iron Golem forged a weapon that he said could kill me, but that it had to be used in the proper place, within a shell where I was cut off from the plains. I asked him where I could find such a place, and he said he did not know. Apparently, Siege Tower has has the power to breach the walls between the planes, acting as a real siege tower would, only in an extra dimensional sense. An invading legion readies itself on one side of the planar wall, waits the siege tower to lower its bridge and pierce a hole in the target plane. Then they steam into the new plane through the siege tower itself. The siege tower becomes a crude door by which a plane may be victimized by an invading army. I wonder what damage the tower is doing to the planes themselves by punching all these holes in the multiverse. The golem said that Ravel sought to sunder Sigil, and that order punished her, by placing her in a cage. Okay, so is Lady of Pain representative of order? He doesn't know where this cage is though. I obtained a dream cage from the golem. I'll take it back to Sandra and see if we can make use of it. Alright, so we have two quests to do here. One is to proceed our quest with the Godsmen by interacting with this empty cauldron here. And then we'll go back and talk to Sander, Nihil Sander, and we'll try to continue building the dream builder. Okay, so those are the two objectives for next day. We'll probably revisit our journal again once we feel like reading it again. There's probably clues in there that we have missed, but currently it just feels my brain is a bit too dense to take in that information, it seems. So we'll do it another time. And yeah, that's it for now.